camera on the start for the Open Women's Singles, the Princess Royal with Mole and Heaphy. The Irish sculler Heaphy on the right of our picture, and on the left side it's Mole from Leeds as they get away cleanly. Catherine Mole there.
This is a really exciting race to see, because we get to see an Irish international here, don't we, in Lydia Heaphy. She's a fantastic sculler. We're privileged to have her sculling here and be able to watch her in this Princess Royal sculling competition for women. She was the spare for the Olympics, and she looks like she's just starting to edge a bit of a lead, but also drifted a little bit over towards Catherine Mole here of Leeds Rowing Club.
Yeah, umpire Gwyn Batten there just giving a little bit of a nudge to keep the crews apart. All the umpire wants is a clean and fair race. They want to intervene as little as possible, but they will do if there's a threat to that, and it looks like they've sorted out their steering. The booms that they're rowing between are 24 metres apart. You'd think that's quite a lot of a distance, but it's quite easy to make a little bit of an error. Anyway, here we are, stretching out now into the rhythm for the middle of the race, and it looks like there's a pretty strong lead already.
That's right, we're being treated to very quality sculling here from Lydia Heaphy from Skibbereen, in that sort of black and red strip there on the right hand side of your screen.
Yeah, you know, as you said, the spare sculler for the Irish lightweights at the Olympics, and so she will be in peak fitness. I've had some experience of being a spare at the Olympics myself, and you know, you really need to be ready to jump into a boat, and obviously you're hoping against hope that might happen, but you're also hoping that your teammates that you cherish and value do the best that they possibly can. So she'll be wanting to make her mark on Henley, having the chance finally to race in open competition as we join the race halfway down the track. And you can see that Gwyn Batten in the umpire's position in the launch behind hasn't been troubled any further, and we've got a nice lead opening up here for Lydia Heaphy.
Apologies, I said Skibbereen, but she's actually from University College Cork, but she obviously will mix it up and train a lot with the famous Irish lightweights that are from Skibbereen Rowing Club.
Yep, so we have Skibbereen and Cork together later this afternoon. The Olympic lightweight men's double gold medalists from Tokyo have chosen to come here back to Henley, and quite rightly so. So that's on our programme still to come this afternoon, but right now you're watching the Open Women's Singles, the Princess Royal. This cup, the last name to win it was Emma Twigg from New Zealand, fantastic Olympian. She returned from Tokyo as the Olympic champion in the women's single. That's the quality of the names on this cup, and that is where these women want to see their names engraved at the end of this week.
Yeah, Lydia's another one of those amazing athletes come out of that Cork area, County Cork. You know, it's a phenomenal Irish lightweight programme they've got developed there. You know, one of the masterminds behind it would be Dominic Casey, who's really helped bring on Skibbereen rowing and been coaching those Irish lightweights. And you know, it's almost we talk a lot about Sir Dave Brailsford's marginal gains, but actually someone like Dominic Casey would have been doing it from, you know, day one. You know, it's all just about being methodical and like unturning every stone and making sure that you look after your health, you look after your performance, you work on your technique, and that's what Lydia's doing really well here. She's sculling really well, and I'm sure she's a very fit and strong athlete.
Yeah, fascinating, Adam, to hear you talk about that. How do you create a winning programme when you've got actually a really quite small talent pool of athletes? And I know I've read the book Something in the Water, I think it's called, which is all about Skibbereen and the ethos around the club and so on. They're not well funded, they trained out of a shed for many years, limited facilities, but they've somehow managed to create a culture of high performance and bring talent to the world stage and win Olympic medals.
I was just thinking there, Matt, maybe we should be bottling the water in the River Eileen and shipping it over here so we can have a bit of that. But yeah, no, there's definitely something in the culture that they've created around that group of athletes, and you don't need numbers, you just need to have the right mindset, you know. I
think that mindset's true, but then there's also seeing that champions are also ordinary people, and that's one of the things I love about Henley. And there's something in the water here. 182 years of champions, many of them have been Olympic and world champions and medalists in their own right, and you're competing on the same track as people like that, and you realise actually those are people like me, maybe I could do this. And you know, half the competitors every day here go out of the competition. It's a knockout competition in every Challenge Cup. That experience makes us stronger, and I think it's one of the great things about being inspired by other athletes, and that certainly happens a lot in Ireland.
That's it. I mean, Lydia's a law student. You know, she's got a very capable career ahead of us. But obviously, she's treating us to some wonderful sculling.
Yeah, and you know, she tells us she started rowing at the age of 11 in Skibbereen, that magical club there. And again, that's the example of being inspired by seeing people around her. It's quite normal for people to turn up and do quite a lot of training. It's quite normal for them to go off and win championships locally, nationally, internationally, and that creates an expectation of performance on each athlete.
Lydia's from a smaller town called Leap, but Cork as a county is a very successful sporting county in Ireland. It's well renowned for its hurling, 30 national titles in Ireland, and you know, countless footballers and Gaelic football stars as well. So it's you know, it's definitely you know, even your average Joes are good athletes around there.
Yeah, we should spare a thought here as well for Catherine Mole, no slouch in the single herself, second overall in the GB trials held in May of this year. Limited chance to get on water to do a lot more racing, but she was nonetheless second in the Women's Championship quad at Marlow Regatta 2, so a strong sculler herself. But you're seeing somebody who's been training for the Tokyo Olympics and is on peak Olympic form just a couple of weeks later, coming to Henley and owning the Henley water. She would love to engrave her name on the Princess Royal Challenge Cup. Today she's writing a small chapter in the story of her rowing history in the waters of Henley, from the waters of Skibbereen. And as we look down, we can see Catherine Mole continuing to scull long, to scull strong, and to make her way past the enclosures.
Yeah, it's a tidy scull there from Catherine, and she had a great race yesterday to beat the German sculler. So it's great that Catherine's been able to here and mixing it up in this, what is a very, very challenging and difficult event. You know, that's a great standard that Lydia's set there. I quite like her skull and crossbones on the back of her lycra. I think that's quite badass, isn't it? You know?
Yes, when I was younger, we used to have a skull and crossbones down at Molesey Boat Club. I think we thought we were pirates in those days. But that, again, it's part of the culture, isn't it? It's trying to kind of inspire some sort of behaviour, some sort of ownership, some sort of different approach from your competitors, and whatever it takes can help you to pull that performance together. So here we are, coming to the final few strokes in this heat of the Princess Royal, our open women's single competition here at Henley Regatta. And well, I've got to say, Lydia Heaphy has written her name in that chapter of the Princess Royal Challenge Cup very successfully. Nice row from Lydia. She'll be really happy with that. Got her legs nice and warm for tomorrow. And as we look at the back of Catherine Mole coming through the enclosures now, applause for her too. Strong and long skull for her. Great to have further Henley experience. And so, Princess Royal, the open women's singles event, and it's a win for Lydia Heaphy.